Good morning and welcome to Preparing to Survive and Thrive Homesteading channel. Today we're going to be picking some tomatoes and discussing what we can do with them and how to preserve them. So I'm just going to flip you around here in a minute and you can take a look and see what I'm doing. I have massive amounts of tomatoes that are getting ripe. Our first picture, here's one of our rain barrels. It was just a garbage can I put a spout on, and this is how I was keeping my water for gardening and different things, even for houseplants, before I had my cisterns fixed and had all my drain spouts going in it. That was actually on another video. Let's get to our tomatoes. It has been raining here off and on for the last few days. I don't know if you can see them, but they're all the way down. I have several different rows. I'm not going to try to take y'all down the hole with me because it's getting to be quite the little tunnel through there. Lots and lots and lots of tomatoes coming on. My beefsteaks are taking their good old time, so they're not quite ready, but I've already started picking them. I put them in the giant bag. So started picking those, and I'm going to get back to it, and I'm probably going to be bouncing around from the garden into the house and you name it. So here we go, off to picking. Now these tomatoes, as you can see, are really ripe. So when I go to pick a tomato, I just do a little twist and a little pull. They're very soft. I know they're ready to be picked. Very soft. Now these are the ones that were supposed to be Romano tomatoes, but ended up just being some round ones. But they are ripening fast and we've been eating them. But I can also make spaghetti sauce out of them. Now, how I normally determine, especially my Romanos, if they are ripe enough to pick and to sit out to dry. So the amount of rain we're getting here, I do not want them splitting. So I just pick some off of here. But with these, I just kind of do a twist. And if I pull and it comes off, yep, I'll take it. Now this one, yeah. So, taking that one too. They're soft, but they're not completely red. More red ones up here. I really prefer my Romanos over anything to making spaghetti sauce or breaking them down for my different types of tomatoes that I might use. Oh, and look who we have to the garden. Hey, Stash. Stashy, say good morning. Yes, I know, my cats and I. He's playing shy, but more and more red tomatoes. So here's some that looks like it's a mix. Nice ones. I'm going to move over here and kind of demonstrate a little something. Hopefully I'll be able to. So I'm jumping ahead here in the row. Now these guys all look like they could probably be picked off. But if I twist these and they don't come off, then I normally will leave them. This one's a bad one. So as it came off. So put that down. I'll get to it later. Probably throw it into the mush bin. As you can see, some guys came off. We had a pretty good storm. It wasn't really windy, but it took some of the tomatoes off. Okay. Beautiful tomatoes. We'll be back shortly. So these are some of those wonderful tomatoes that were supposed to be Romanos, but they ended up being round, small. They kind of look similar to what they grow in the hothouse, the way they all clump together. So this little bunch here, I'm literally going to cut them right about here, and then I'm going to just set them out to finish ripening, and then we can eat them on sandwiches. So I'm out here, and my beefsteak tomatoes, they usually get really big. Some of them are starting to ripen, some of them not so much. Like this one's kind of soft, but not really. I want to get it redder. They are definitely slow going when it comes to these guys. Let's see. I'm hoping these guys will keep putting them on. I know some of them I cut off by mistake, and the bugs are definitely getting evil with them. Like this guy, it definitely needs to be picked. It's feeling soft. And it might actually have a bad spot in it. But, and beefsteaks are usually huge. And these are more of a slicer tomato. Slice them up, put them on sandwiches, or put them up in your salads and slices. So I'm going ahead and pick some of these. Even though they're not totally ripe, I don't want them splitting the rest of the way. We're supposed to get rain, like I said, for who knows how long. These are getting to be some of the big ones. So I'm back up from the garden, and this video is all things tomatoes, but I did pick some okra and stuff like that, which we'll discuss those in another videos. But let's talk about tomatoes. I have taken the ones that are starting to split, even if they're not totally ripe, and putting them up here. So what can we do with tomatoes? Well, we can make spaghetti sauce with some added ingredients, just plain tomato sauce. You can also freeze them, and we can dice them up and make canned diced tomatoes and stewed tomatoes. Different ways of preserving them are such as freezing, like I had just said. You could dice them up and then cook them down. So what I do with my tomatoes is normally we will cook them down. But before I do that, I pull them off the vines, and even if they aren't all the way ripe, I set them out here on my shelving unit. Dun, dun, dun. Yeah, no biggie, but hey, added some sound effects. So some of them were falling off, and I went ahead and picked them up off the ground. They can ripen out here. I'll leave these guys sit up here on the shelving unit for a day or two, let them get rinsed off, and make sure there's no bad ones, and then I will put them in the freezer. I let them freeze until probably Thanksgiving, or when I have a lot of time that I can actually sit down and cook them down and make spaghetti sauce, or just plain tomato sauce, or some really heavy, thick, not quite paste, but thick tomato sauce. I did that last year. Only problem with that is I have to watch it. Sometimes they will burn. So when you're canning tomatoes, normally they say they have enough acidity in them that if you're just making plain tomatoes that you can water bath them. You can get them boiling, and you cook them at least 10 minutes in a water bath. You can also add some lemon juice in there, and helps keep the color and adds a little bit more acidic. I know people that add vinegar to them. Whatever works for you. I don't know if these are the accepted canning rules of the FDA, but I normally don't listen to the FDA on most anything. That's just me though, so do what works for you. But whenever I'm making spaghetti sauce, which includes mushrooms, onions, garlic, some diced tomatoes, peppers, of course, and whatever else I decide I want to throw in my spaghetti sauce, I will pressure can them. And it's normally pressure canning them for 70 minutes for a pint. I normally do quarts, so I leave them in for 90 minutes. I have also freeze-dried some of these really nice, thick beefsteaks, and I did Better Boys last year, and I freeze-dried them. I also did Old Brooks last year, which were an amazing tomato, all heirloom. And I freeze-dried them. Thick slices, added some salt and pepper. They're amazing on a sandwich. You add them to like a grilled cheese. You got an adult grilled cheese, and they're really amazing. So, how about leaving me a comment? How are you preserving your tomatoes? What are you doing? You got any recipes out there you want to share? So this video was definitely all things tomato. Please like, share, and subscribe, and look for my upcoming videos about canning and processing these tomatoes. Don't forget, like, share, and subscribe. I'll be seeing you soon.